Hey YouTube and my 2 subscribers. It's a start. Show of hands. Who here accepts the theory of evolution as a viable explanation to the variation of life on this planet? Or to simplify, who accepts evolution as fact? I myself am raising my hand in case you're not aware. But for 90 years there has been controversy over teaching evolution in public schools. This becomes relevant when you consider that evolution, with mountains of supporting evidence toward the theory, is teaching both high school and college students to this day of our animal ancestry. As a rational-minded individual with an intellectual appetite for knowledge, the theory of evolution has always interested me at a young age. And the Scopes trial paved the way for evolution to be taught in public schools. 66 years after Charles Darwin published On the Origin of Species, a book describing Darwinian evolution, summarized by the idea that all life has a common ancestor, controversy over this theory produced the Butler Act, a bill passed by the Tennessee legislature on March 1925 that prohibited the teaching of evolution in Tennessee public schools. Just 4 months later, on July 21st, 1925, John Scopes was fined $100 for violating the Butler Act. Now, the American Civil Liberty Union turned this into a nationwide spectacle. From the ACLU website, and I quote, "The ACLU responded immediately with an offer to defend any teacher persecuted under the Butler Law." The trial became so famous that the town of Dayton, which held the trial, soared from 1,800 to about 5,000. And post-trial, the anti-evolutionist camp claimed victory, and the Butler Act stood for 42 more years, where it was repealed in 1967. Prior to 1967, however, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 in 1957, which leads America as a whole to re-evaluate how science is taught in public schools. Then came the American Institute of Biological Sciences, stressing the importance of evolution in revised 1968 textbooks. After the revision of these textbooks, there were 2 Supreme Court cases that held precedence in the public eye. The first, Epperson v. Arkansas, and the second, Edwards v. Aguillard. For the Epperson v. Arkansas, the Supreme Court invalidated the Arkansas statute that prohibited teaching human evolution. And for Edwards v. Aguillard, Louisiana's Balanced Treatment Act is struck down by the Supreme Court, which was an act that tried to teach creation science with the theory of evolution. And here we are today, 90 years after the famous Scopes trial. Let's see where we stand as a nation on the theory of evolution. On May 2014, a Gallup poll reports that 42% of Americans believe that God created humans in present form. Well, I kind of expected that. 31% of Americans believe that humans evolved with God's guidance. I guess that's a step in the right direction. And only 19% believe that humans evolved but God had no part in the process. Well, evolution, and to a greater extent science, doesn't really have a verdict on God, but it is normal to spin this God versus evolution narrative, since God created people in their present form as well as the animals in their present form, and they only produce their own kinds, whatever that is. But let's go on the other side of the fence and see what public schools have tax funding for creationism. Now, that is the belief that a all-powerful, all-knowing deity in the sky created everything that we know of in 6 days, and on the 7th day he took a nap. And yes, that's what creationists really believe. So let's see. Oh, god damn it. Look at that. Tennessee, Louisiana's all covered in green. You got Ohio and Indiana and Florida covered in orange, accepting tax-funded vouchers. And then Texas has smallpox, illustrated by the red dots, which indicates creationist curricula. It could be worse. I mean, I can only imagine the statistics back in the day when, quote-unquote, creation science was basically the only thing taught, and when theorizing that we have a common ancestor with the animals around us, you would be laughed at and scrutinized, which that still may be the case in Tennessee and Louisiana. Either way, the theory of evolution is still going strong and gaining more evidence day by day, month by month, and happy 90th anniversary to the Scopes trial. All my resources are in the description below, and like, comment, or subscribe if you like my channel, or like what I have to say, or love hearing my sexy voice, because I know I do. It's amazing. Have a good day, everybody.